My salutations to everyone present here. Pranam. The first talk my Guru, Swami Chinmayananji, gave was in the year 1951. He was not known to the world that time. Even the Gita lectures he has not started. The very first talk he spoke was, "Let Hindus become Hindus." This is the first maiden lecture of Swami Chinmayananji in Pune. On December 24th, 1951, he spoke. In that lecture, this is the main point: let Hindus become Hindus. Because we are Hindus by birth, not by spirit. Because to understand or to be a Hindu by spirit, we should know Hinduism. We were not knowing Hinduism. Somewhere we lost track. We lost touch with Sanskrit, deliberately, intentionally, unintentionally. That's when the fall happened. We became strangers to our own culture. When we became strangers to our own culture, we became vulnerable to attacks from outside. If we were strong in our culture, in our understanding, we cannot be influenced by inferior thoughts. We lost track and therefore we were influenced. There was a continuous attack on India of more than 1,000 years or so, continuous invasion, where we lived in fear, and then came the shrewd colonization by which we started disbelieving in our own culture. One was an age we lived in fear. Second, when British took their control on us, we became somewhat averse or ashamed of our own heritage. Now, that was the biggest impact of colonization. They made us look down upon our own culture, our own beliefs. We all became, not the village side, the convent-educated Indians and non-convent education Indians, two sections. Non-convent education Indians still did not know much about the culture as such, and the convent-educated Indians became anti-culture, most of them. Because we were carrying a Western mind in an Indian body. That was the effect of colonization. Most of us carry a Western mind in an Indian body, and that needs to change. Probably this symptom, in the last couple of years, we are seeing a great change in that. Indian is now thinking like an Indian in an Indian body. This is a great progress made. To make it more simple, the things which we were laughing about is something which we should take up and interpret it correctly. For example, to this august audience, let me ask you a question. If I have to talk to you about Narad Rishi, when I say Dev Rishi Narad, what comes to your mind? Be honest. Huh? Mischievous activity, goes around confusing people, puts one across another. No, most of them, sir. I asked you, that's the answer they gave, right? Here right now, I just got, this is how Indians look at Narad, which is a different from what Narad is. Our interpretation became like that. The place I come from, South India, if someone is dragging something little longer than what he should say, you know the way in which we say, stop this Ramayana. If you are boring, if you are saying something longer, then the term used by Indians, by Hindus is stop this Ramayana. Now, this is not what it is. Ramayana is meant for liberation. Ramayana is meant for dharmic living. But the way in which casually we have brought down the sacredness of this to a ridicule is the colonized effect. Narad is also like that. Narad, we call him Devarishi, but how do we see Narad? A mischief monger going around. And dynamism of Narad is lost to very Indians. Let me tell you a little bit about Narad, so that this example can give us how we can decolonize and go back to the roots and interpret them correctly. For example, who is the biggest Don today in the world? Somebody from Dubai hiding in Pakistan? Okay, example. Is it possible to talk to him one-on-one and transform him? One minute. Sir, you have to have little patience. Let me finish. Is it possible, maybe possible, Ratnakar, the dacoit, was equal to that? The most wanted terrorist of that time, the most dreaded terrorist was Ratnakar. Narad went and transformed him. He changed that negative force to a positive force, and Valmiki gave us the best book, Ramayana. Now think of Narad. What must be his dynamism to go and meet the most dreaded terrorist or wanted criminal, transform him, make him change, and that person becomes your supporter. This ability is not easy. This is absolute intellectually dynamic person, Narad. Do we see Narad that way? Isn't it? Think. The real glory of him is not seen. This is not all. If we can go on Narad, I'll give you another example. Hiranyakashipu, who was there that time. And he was claiming he is the mighty man and everybody has to worship him. You take my name, forget the Lord, everything. Absolute materialistic mind. Narad Rishi decides to take on him. Narad decides, when Hiranyakashipu was on his family way, his wife Kayadu was on the family way, Narad goes, meets her. Do you understand what this is? Talks to her when Prahalad was in the womb. Thoughts of Narayana went into Prahalad when he was in the womb. You take an enemy, even before a danger could manifest, he went and prevented. And Prahalad comes out and takes on Hiranyakashipu. In today's term you will understand, this is called the first surgical strike. You understand? To whom did he attack? He went to the enemy, took on the enemy, implanted what he has to plant, and the child comes out turning against, supporting your cause. Narad inspired Vyasa. What a scholar Vyasa is. We say Vyasa is Vishala Buddhe. You have a touch of Narad inspiring Vyasa. Vyasa found himself incomplete. To a scholar, a mighty scholar like Vyasa, Narad inspired. Now this is Narad. But do we Indians see Narad that way? This is what I meant. Our own heritage, our own beauty, things which are so universal, we Indians don't even know, and we have not even appreciated it. Narad is just an example. We can go on anything. Today, Desi cow, the Indian cow, A2 milk. Today we are waking up. 60 years we went with it. Please think. Today a Desi cow, 1 liter milk is almost 120 rupees. Jersey 40 rupees, which creates A1 and we suffer by it. When it was there, that time we didn't understand. So we Indians have somewhere become strangers to our own glory. If we can get back to that, we win this war. Our books, our heroes, our concepts must be taken back to the people and interpreted correctly. Let Hindus become Hindus. Thank you.